Hello people, this is Bio once again from Spirit Owners UK. Today is the 16th of September and this is my weekly video. It's a bit late this week, but I sincerely apologize. Last weekend was my birthday, so I took some time out to chill, but I've also been training a lot for the London Marathon, the 40th London Marathon, which is taking place in the next 3 weeks. So loads of miles, been running loads of miles, like 15-mile weeks, but anyway, let's back to why we're here. I've been going through a series of topics under the main topic, which is the different types of exercises. Last week I talked about aerobic exercises, what it is and the benefits that come with it. So this week I'm going to be covering another aspect of another type of exercise. But before I do that, I'd like to thank all my subscribers who've been subscribing to my videos, who've been liking my videos. I'd like to thank those who've been supporting me. I have to mention Dr. Sandra Baka, who's been a great help, great support, great encourager with this channel. And also my friends, Dr. Aki Marino from the States, and my friend Titi as well, who's my running mate, who runs with me, training for the marathon as well. And lots of other people may not have mentioned your name, but I'm so grateful. Of course, my family as well, my wife and my kids have been very supportive. But I'd like to thank those who've been subscribing. And please, if you're not subscribed yet, please click on the subscribe button to subscribe, because that really encourages me to be able to get more content out to you, and also help spread the word. Send a video link to the YouTube link to friends and family, and get them to subscribe and to like my videos. I'd like to thank those who've been asking questions as well, been giving feedback, really useful. So without wasting much time, I want to go into the topic for today, which is we're going to be covering another type of exercise called anaerobic exercises. Anaerobic exercise. So last week we covered aerobic exercises. This week we're covering anaerobic exercises. Now you may be wondering, what are anaerobic exercises? It's good to know the different types of exercises because they all have different functions. They all play different roles in helping build our fitness and keeping us healthy. So anaerobic exercises are quick bursts of energy performed at maximum effort for a short time. So aerobic exercises are over a longer period. So like my long distance runs, for example, those are aerobic exercises. But today we're doing anaerobic exercise. Anaerobic exercises are quick, very quick. So a good example, exercises that you do that don't last very long. So maybe they're just for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or 25 minutes or even shorter, 10 minutes, 7 minutes, those type of exercises. So typically when you're doing those type of exercises, you normally are typically between 80 to 90% of your maximum heart rate, and it's a fantastic way of improving your fitness level once a baseline aerobic level of fitness is achieved. So you're normally very close to the maximum of your heart rate. So which means you're pushing yourself to the limits. But the golden rule with anaerobic exercises is you must first build your aerobic base by doing exercises that do not require much intensity. So for example, you're doing your slow skipping, you're doing your slow running, you're going for your brisk walking, for example, you're doing slow aerobics that do not require a lot of intensity. You've got to do that first for over a period before you then start adding anaerobic exercises to your fitness strategy. That's so important. Also, it's always good to check with your doctor first before you also take on anaerobic exercises, because they're very intense and they take out a lot more from your body and within a short period, but they push you to the limit. So you got to check to make sure in terms of your cardiovascular fitness that your heart and your lungs are in good enough shape for you to add it to your fitness regime. So anaerobic, the word anaerobic actually means without air and refers to the body producing energy without oxygen. This is typically exercise, as I said, is performed at a high intensity. So without air, so you can imagine you're almost breathless actually when you're doing aerobic exercises. So there's not enough, you can't get enough air to produce enough energy to keep you going. So what your body does is it does not depend on the air that you're bringing in. The air you're bringing in does have a role, but because you're going at such a high intensity, you don't get enough air to produce the type of energy that you require. So during anaerobic exercise, oxygen consumption is not sufficient to supply the energy demands being placed on your muscles, because your muscles require energy for them to function effectively. So whatever happens is that the muscles begin to break down sugars, resulting in a high lactic acid production. So what happens is your body realizes the fact that, hold on, he's going too fast or she's going too fast, or the intensity is so high, I really need energy now. So what it does is it begins to use the sugars that you have in your body. So that's where carbs come in, for example, where you need instant carbs to, which converted to sugar that is already stored in your body. So the carbs have already been converted to sugars and they're already in your bloodstream, and your body uses those as an energy source for you to be able to do anaerobic exercises. So let me give you a few examples so you have a good idea of what I'm talking about. So we've got high intensive interval training, which you guys know of. There's so many high intensive interval training. I've got some videos on my channel, so you can check them out later. So they're normally short, but they're normally intense. So you could have jumping jacks, for example. You could have press-ups. You could have quite a few others. It's just basically they're very short exercises that you have over a short period, but they're in high intensity. They involve building your core, they involve building your whole body fitness, and also help build strength. Also heavy weight lifting. So when you do heavy weight lifting, although it may not be as active when you're running, you do use a lot of intensity when you're doing it, and as a result you need instant energy, and that is an example of an aerobic exercise. Also calisthenics like plyometrics, jump squats or box jumps are also very good example. Sprinting while running, cycling or swimming is another example. So when you're cycling, for example, if you're going really fast, that could be anaerobic. When you're swimming at a very high intensity and you're swimming really fast, that could be anaerobic. And of course, running, when you're really sprinting and you're trying to get that new personal best, that new PB, that as well is anaerobic. So as you build up endurance and strength, you can add in an aerobic exercise. That's what's recommended, such as I said, high intensity interval training and others. These exercises can help you gain muscle, burn fat, and increase your exercise stamina. So normally what happens is, if you're going for a race, for example, you start off with aerobic exercises, and then after a while, you then begin to add anaerobic exercises, because that helps you improve your pace. That's what you do to improve your pace. For a very good example, as a runner, for example, you would do the running, you use the fat running technique called fat leg, or you use interval trainings, because they're normally really quick. So you really run at top intensity, and then you slow down, you hit it out again, or you run at a fast pace, flat out, like tempo runs, for example. They're a very good example of an aerobic exercise. Like I said, before you begin, make sure you check with your doctor, especially for anaerobic exercise. Check with your doctor first, and just say, I like to do some really intense exercise. Can you just check me out to make sure I'm fine? And then once they give you the all clear, then you can hit it and you can hit it hard. So what are the benefits and what's the purpose of anaerobic exercises? First one is it helps build muscle or lose weight. Trust me, if you're doing an aerobic exercise and you add them to aerobic exercise that you're already doing, you will lose the weight even quicker, because it burns more energy, it burns sugar. Aerobic exercise normally burns more fat than anaerobic exercises, but anaerobic exercises burns the sugar. So your carbs, for example, it gets used up as energy. It helps push through an exercise plateau and meet a new goal. So, for example, you've been doing aerobic exercise over and over again, and you're not seeming to, you can't just push things through to the next level. You know what you could do? Add anaerobic exercises to your exercise strategy. So if you're doing your brisk walking, for example, you're doing your slow skipping, for example, you're doing just light swimming, for example, but you want to push things to the next level. If you add anaerobic exercises to it, you will notice the difference. So a good example for practical demonstration of that would be, so you're doing your brisk walking, for example, you now want to push things to the next level. So what you could do is you can add cycling to it, but it's as if you could cycle intense cycling. So you're cycling at a very fast pace, or you could add running to it, running at a faster pace, pushing yourself to what you know is your limits, where you're not going to be able to have a conversation. You could barely have a conversation while you're running. That's a good example. Or if you're swimming, you swim at a faster intensity, harder intensity, higher intensity, and a faster pace. That would be a good example. It helps you maintain muscle mass as you age. So when you do anaerobic exercises, because they're doing them for a shorter period, your fitness level goes up, but it also helps you to maintain your muscle mass because you're not doing it for long enough to begin to burn more than you should. So that's one way that it helps you to maintain your muscle mass. Burns fat. It does burn some fat, but not as much as aerobic exercises, but it does burn fat as well. Helps you to build muscle, like we've already covered that already, because you're only using your sugars, you're using your carbs, and you're repairing your muscles by you're taking your proteins, eating high protein foods, all those help. It increases stamina for daily activities like hiking, dancing, or playing with kids. Yes, that definitely happens when you do anaerobic exercises. Your fitness level goes up to the next, goes up to the next level, actually, because you're pushing yourself to the limits, and your heart and your lungs become fitter because you're pushing them to their maximum level. So they become strong enough to be able to take on more. So you, for example, if you start doing anaerobic exercises, you'll be able to run up the stairs and you're not even going to feel tired. You'll just be like you're just walking down the road or something, even though you just run up the stairs. So anaerobic exercises help you to build your cardiovascular fitness because you're pushing your heart and your lungs to you're maximizing the potential of your heart and your lungs. So you're pushing them to their limits. So it helps you to build your cardiovascular fitness. So I would like to recommend that you really seriously think about adding that to your exercise strategy. But like I said, I'm going to repeat it again. Make sure you check with your doctor first before you add it. But you will see the benefits because it helps you to break through to the next level if you just want to push things to the next level. I hope this video has been informative and has given you enough information for you to be able to add this type of exercises to your exercise strategy. If you have any questions, please don't forget to either put them in your comments below or just through the Spirit Runners UK Facebook group. You can also post a question on the group and I will definitely get back to you. But I also, like I said, I would like to thank you for watching my videos, but I also want to encourage you. Remember that the focus of this YouTube channel is that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. It is God that motivates you. It is God that strengthens and enables you physically to be able to do what others say you can't do. I'm doing things that even at my age, most people feel that, really, how is he able to do that? And I always tell them, the reason why is because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So God will motivate you and God will strengthen you. Never say you can't. Remember, if you look to God, He will make it happen for you. If you desire it and you look to Him, He will make it happen for you. It will make it happen. It will make it happen for you. Speak of that. It will make it happen for you. So please stay encouraged and please get in touch If you need any form of advice or any form of help with regards to health and fitness, we are your one-stop shop, Spirit Runners UK. Thank you so much for viewing. God bless you, and enjoy the rest of your day.